such delicious items as raw guts and raw uterus. Although truth be told, I was more uncomfortable by the overly enthusiastic dog asking me to put green onions and issues over the sauce, which isn't something I normally do when I eat out, mainly because I don't know what the hell it means. But I realised I never really talk much about Japanese food. And when you think of Japanese food, you usually think of the same old things. Sushi, tempura, ramen, which is my favourite. But obviously there's so much more food in Japan, and in today's video I want to talk about 4 popular foods that might seem a bit strange or odd to most people living outside Japan. I suspect one in particular might seem a bit of a surprise, considering in the UK it would be a health hazard, and in most countries. And when I told friends and family back home that I tried it, they didn't believe me, as I didn't believe it when it was served to me, so keep an eye out for that. And no, it's not raw uterus. God forbid. I once went out for dinner with a Japanese friend and they asked me if I wanted to try grilled eel, which in Japanese is unagi no kabayaki. And naturally I said no and went with the fried chicken instead. The reason being that in the UK the mere mention of eels sends a shudder down most people's spine, as it conjures up images of one of the UK's national dishes, which is jellied eels. A dish which looks and sounds bad except for the 7 or 8 people in the UK who still enjoy eating it. So imagine my surprise when they brought out my friend's meal and it not only looked edible but actually amazingly good. The presentation of eel in Japan makes it look like a gourmet meal, traditionally served on rice and in a sweetened soy sauce called tare. For me it was a strong reminder that the Japanese are very good at making things look delicious and appealing where other countries fail miserably. But far from being a gourmet meal, eel is the sort of thing people eat every day in Japan, as it's very convenient, easy to prepare and tastes bloody delicious. And this is what my dinner often looks like. If you're wondering how eels go from this, what, to this, oh, it looks wonderful. There's a really awesome fishery called Yamada Suisan, and they've put up loads of videos showing you A, how to prepare eel, and B, how they go about making the popular national cuisine. They're actually really interesting. Check out the videos in the description box below. But you can bet your horses you'll love the taste of eel. Oh yeah, and speaking of horses, I first tried raw horse on a trip to Nara in Kansai, and I didn't enjoy it the first time as it had quite a tough texture and a surprisingly mild, spicy aftertaste. But I thought it was an exclusive thing you could only buy in certain places in Japan. I told some Japanese friends that yeah, I'd eaten some horse, it was crazy, it was wicked, it was awesome. And they were like, yeah, you can just buy that everywhere, in every Japanese pub really. Brilliant, I wish somebody had told me. But raw horse is commonly eaten in Japanese izakayas. Izakaya is a Japanese style pub. It's referred to either as basashi or the more exotic name of sakura niku. Sakura means cherry blossom. Sakura means cherry blossom, niku means meat, and it got the name on account of its pink appearance. Obviously it's taboo to eat it in the UK and the US, but it is still worth trying. Mainly because when you come back and your friends and family ask, how was Japan? You can reply, it was amazing, I ate horses. And they'll be like, oh gosh, you really do live life on the edge, don't you? Then again, the first time I ate horse in Japan was the same time that the horse meat scandal was going on in Europe, where it turned out every piece of edible matter in Europe secretly contained horse meat. So to be fair, if you're living in Europe, you're probably already living life on the edge anyway. Every Thursday I meet with my good Japanese friend Natsuki, and we go to an izakaya for dinner and a few drinks. Usually more than a few drinks if Natsuki has his way. And one of his favourite things to order is this stuff that looks like fried chicken, which, as you and I know, is one of the most delicious and nutritionally balanced foods in the world. But it isn't fried chicken. It's called nankotsu, and the first time I tried it I nearly broke my bloody teeth in half. I thought someone had battered some fucking rocks and stuck them on a plate or something. But it turns out nankotsu is chicken cartilage. The best way to describe it is like a soft, chewy, bone-like texture, which doesn't sound appealing. But if you can get over the weird, crunchy-like texture and the concept of eating chicken cartilage, the rewards are great, as it's a very popular dish in izakayas and you'll probably find it in front of you quite a lot while you're in Japan. I converted from actively avoiding it to loving it within the period of about 6 months, due to going out with Natsuki every week. So if you do struggle to come to enjoy it, as I did when I first arrived in Japan, you best get signed up to Natsuki's 6-month cartilage enjoyment program as well. And what a program it would be.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have a money.
Like most people growing up, I had it hammered into me that raw chicken equals bad. Or to be precise, raw chicken equals salmonella. So when I had torisashi served to me, which is raw chicken, I was a little bit worried. But despite my concerns, I went ahead, ate it, and lived to tell the tale. Admittedly, I didn't actually enjoy eating it due to the texture being a bit meh, and the flavour. Well, there was no flavour. But it felt cool to eat something that I felt like I shouldn't. The raw chicken in Japan comes from chickens that are specially raised, not battery farmed. So apparently the risk of salmonella is really low. So if you get the chance to try it, don't be put off by the health risks, it's perfectly safe. And you can find it in izakayas throughout Japan, although I won't be eating it in a hurry. Let's face it, it's got nothing on fried chicken. But what I will say about Japanese food is it's always excellently prepared, and the Japanese really are culinary masters. They treat every aspect of cooking and making food with such great craftsmanship and skill. Even food that initially looks or sounds questionable is always delicious. Well, everything that is, except raw uterus, which I 100% refuse to try. You certainly won't catch me pouring any issues over the sauce anytime soon. But have you tried any interesting or bizarre foods whilst in Japan? Let us know in the comments section below. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you want more videos.